Sometimes men will approach me, whether it's on my Just for Fans or my LinkedIn or whatever, and they'll want to know if I ever come to whatever city they're in. To me, as a woman, it feels like a swoosh of energy out. It feels like a pulling energy, is what it feels like a pulling out. So I'm not going to use words. I'm going to just tell you how it feels to me. It's like a pulling out, and this man feels like a little grain of sand, and it seems needy, and it's improper manners. It's like sitting back and I want this. I'm interested in this woman, and if she's ever in my area for her business or personal reasons, I want to make sure that she has time for me. Even if I did, have you ever noticed when people are on vacation, they're pretty busy with their own plans or with the people they're with? They're not trying to make room in their schedule for some anonymous guy. But that's what some of these guys think. They just want to, it's kind of like the guys on the dating apps who just want to talk to you on the phone or just have you come over. And it's not masculine energy. So to me, it feels like a swoosh, like a pulling, like you're pulling out from me. So what an empowered, developed man would do is if he wouldn't just pull from women like, are you going to come to my city? But if he was very interested in a woman, he would go to that woman. He would be like, I want to meet that woman. She lives in this city. When I'm there on business, I'll look her up, or I'm going to go there and meet her. That feels like power, like swoosh, like you've got something to offer. And one thing I really like to feel, to be interested in a man, I want to feel his energy coming in. I want to feel his presence, his energy. When I have to pull for information, or they want to be serviced, or they're not intentional, it feels like a swooshing out, and that is not aligned with me. I guess because it kind of goes back to what I made the videos about all weekend about women who hook up. I did it briefly after my divorce to discover my sexuality, and I was surprised that so many men would just use me for sex. As soon as I realized that, I stopped doing it. And that's because I was loved by my father. I know what it's like for men to appreciate me, not just my body and my sexuality. I've experienced a man, my father, loving me, valuing me. So that's what I need from a man before I ever even want to give him sex. And the men that I hooked up with, I thought they liked me. I had to feel like they liked me. They could never talk about sex or send me dick pics. They had to act very interested in me. And I mistook that interest as being interest. I didn't understand the nature of men. And that's why I didn't get attached to my escort clients. Someone made a comment like, you're fooling yourself. You would get attached to one of your escort clients who is very sensual with you, or one of your benefactors who's very sensual with you. They're all sensual with me. But the difference is that the guys that I was meeting to hook up with were guys that I chose, onto whom I projected a certain thing. And it was relational. I thought they liked me. That's why I was receptive to them sexually. They were kind to me. They were very respectful to me. They were professional men. They had good manners, and they were sober. I thought they liked me. I didn't vet them well because I didn't understand men. The men who came to me as benefactors, they came to me wanting just sex. So I don't feel bonded to men who just want sex from me, because I don't feel seen as a person. And when they're coming to me wanting sex, they're needing something from me. And I don't bond with men who need something from me. I bond with men who I think can give me something. And the giving isn't money. The giving is the relationship, the what is possible outside the bedroom, the I've got you. So I just want to explain those things a little bit more as I'm kind of, fleshing out, is that um, because of the way I was raised, and my father was not like such a super good dad. I didn't like him because he was very bossy and we had to do what he wanted, this Persian dad. But I was his favorite. I will say my other siblings were kind of abused by him a little bit, and they struggle in their relationships in the way that I didn't, because I felt really valued internally just for existing. You know, I felt valued just for existing from my parents. And so I think that's a really important foundation. I think the women that go around hooking up have never experienced that. They were sexually abused, and it's very difficult for some of them to learn to really value themselves and what it feels like for a man to value them rather than just wanting them sexually. They haven't felt that. They need to allow themselves to feel that feeling. If they can just even conjure it up mentally or emotionally, what it feels like if their father or a father would just appreciate them just for existing. Because they know that through sex they can get attention, but that attention doesn't last. So then they're crying afterward because they haven't experienced what it's like to be loved just for existing, or to be appreciated for, something that they learned, or their playfulness, or just how beautiful they are. If the only time they got attention was when it was sexual, that's all they think they're worth, subconsciously. And so my requirements are, I need to feel valued and appreciated for me before I ever want to be open sexually. Even with my benefactors, they have to be very respectful to me, and I have pretty good boundaries. But yeah, that's when they give me money and respect, I can open to them, but I'm giving to them. I see it as like healing them. And it isn't personal because I'm not looking for something. It's kind of like a nurturing energy I give them, like I would if I was taking care of. I'm giving them love. I'm not, my giving energy is pretty high. My receiving energy is pretty low. My emotional receiving energy is very, very low in those situations. So I don't, whereas if it's personal, I try to open my receiving energy a lot more to be more receptive, because I want to develop that part of myself. But I don't open that receiving energy. I keep my receiving energy very low with most people because it's a more vulnerable energy. And that's only for people who are close in my life, who value me for me, not just sexually, if that makes sense. And I think that's an embodied thing, because I know what it feels like for a man to respect me. And, I had a grandfather, I had a father, 2 grandfathers. So I know what it feels like for men to treat me with respect, to want to teach me things, and to value me and make me feel safe. It's embodied. If you haven't had that growing up, I think that you can cultivate that by imagining what it would feel like. Just close your eyes and imagine a grandfather or a father, either yours or one that you just make up, teaching you something, just really adoring you and teaching you something, or taking you like in a carriage ride, or teaching you backgammon, or having dinner with you, or taking you out to dinner. Like, these are things my grandfathers did with me. Take you to church, take you for a walk, read with you, teach you how to swim, teach you how to read, buy you a pretty dress, take pictures of you, take you places. That's really good. One thing that I've tried to do that I didn't see growing up was my parents being affectionate with each other. And so I sometimes, imagine that, seeing my dad being affectionate with my mother. I think that imagining these things can create that feeling. I can actually feel it in my body. And once we feel it, it opens up a whole new pathway. In my opinion, this is something I came up with on my own. It opens up like a new body awareness of how love feels and how I want to be treated. And so that's just a little tip there for you guys. Happy 4th of July, everyone. I know we're very heavily censored on social media, but this is still the land of the home and the free, the land of the brave and the free. And happy 4th of July, everyone. I'm very grateful to live in this country. And thank you for watching my videos. By the way, I'm red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue today.